The Quran gives the concept of Qaroon. فَخَرَجَ عَلَى قَوْمِهِ فِي زِينَتِهِ. He came out into his people who were extremely poor. The Israelites were extremely poor, and he came out decked out. Exotic horse, servants, gold, expensive clothes, an entourage. And people are looking at him like, wow. And people said, Ya layta lana mithla ma utiya Qaroon. If only we had what Qaroon has. So we're going to call this the Qaroon Psychology. Okay? This is the Quran-inspired Qaroon Psychology. Qaroon Psychology means I find some Qaroon and they become my dream. Not Qaroon's not the problem. Qaroon is a separate problem. I have a problem now because Qaroon doesn't just live in his house, Qaroon also lives in my head. Qaroon lives in my head. I want to be just like who? Qaroon. So if Qaroon was wearing those shoes, even though I don't have enough money to pay the rent, I'm going to go buy Qaroon shoes. Because I'll feel like I got a little piece of Qaroon's life when I wore those Qaroon shoes. If I saw that brand was worn by that Qaroon, I want to wear that brand. It lets me imagine for a moment, that I live the Qaroon life. And so even though your mom is yelling at you in the background to do the dishes, and your dad is arguing about how they were late for the electricity bill, you're taking a picture of yourself with a filter and the Qaroon logo on your shirt. Right? Because now there's an entire society that says, oh, I wish I had what Qaroon has. And then Qaroon, because he comes out with these brands that are super expensive, you feel like you became a more valuable human being when you bought that bag of a dead cow with the Qaroon logo on it. You understand? And it creates an entire Qaroon society. And people look at you and say, oh, you don't even have Qaroon shoes. I got Qaroon shoes and Qaroon socks. Check this out. Do you see this in the world? This doesn't happen when there's a normal economic disparity. This happens when there's an extreme economic disparity. It creates a Qaroon society. Qaroon obsessed society. Qaroon consumer psychology. The Quran showed us Qaroon and then showed us how he sunk into the earth. And then people looked at that and said, ooh, we learned our lesson. They back away from the Qaroon. They recognize the Qaroon and now they learn to back away. The world we live in right now, you find a Qaroon, you follow them on Instagram, you follow them on TikTok, you like their videos, you share, you post, back in the, this is not just in Instagram. In the older pre-tech days, people had posters of Qaroons on their walls. They bought Qaroon hoodies, Qaroon jerseys, Qaroon hats, Qaroon shoes, Qaroon watches, right? They want to go where Qaroon went. They put stars of Qaroon on Hollywood roads, and you stand next to Qaroon, you feel like I am Qaroon Cruz for a minute. Qaroon Hanks and Qaroon Cruz and Qaroon, right? It's pretty serious. وَلَا تَمُدَّنَّ عَيْنَيْكَ إِلَى مَا مَتَّعْنَا بِهِ أَزْوَاجًا مِّنْهُمْ. Don't let your eyes go to these people that we have given these goods. The Prophet is told, don't let your eyes look up to them. These are not people worthy of being looked up to. They're not worthy of being looked up to. This concept is the end of brand worship. This Qaroon concept in the Quran is the end of brand worship. And can you imagine how much money is transferred in the world, moved in the world, over these frivolous brands? How much? And who spends on those frivolous brands? Either people that have stupid amount of money that should have been spending it on something more meaningful, or people that don't have enough. They don't have enough, and they could have been using that money to save up for a better education, an investment, maybe towards a house, something. No, they need a Qaroon watch. They need a Qaroon this or that or the other. Right? Allah says, لا تمدن عينيك إلى ما متعنا به أزواجا منهم زهرة الحياة الدنيا لنفتنهم فيه. Allah says, we've given these people that you're looking up to just these glittery, glossy things in this world so that we can put them in a test using those things. These people are being tested with those things. وَرِزْقُ رَبِّكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى. And the rizq Allah provides is better and longer lasting. Allah didn't even say in this ayah that Allah's rizq is in the akhirah. He just said Allah's rizq is better, meaning there's better things to pursue.